So we just had a crazy month and generated $16,276 in Etsy sales, and our numbers are up 123% from last year. If this holds and we double our numbers for November, which last November we did $22,405 in sales, we could potentially hit a $40,000 month, which is crazy. So in this video, I'm going to do what no one else is willing to do. And that is I'm going to share behind the scenes looking at our Etsy numbers for the complete month of October. This is somewhat of a income report. I'm going to show you where the traffic came from, all the different traffic sources, and why I feel like the sales have increased so much for us this year. Also going to share what our estimated profit is after all expenses. So what do you say? Let's get into it. All right, so I'm inside of the account right now. And just so you know, there's no shenanigans going on here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip this back for, let's say, the last 30 days. You can see that. So we're at $19,377.50. But I'm going to go back here and say, okay, last 7 days, here we are. So you can see, like, this is actual numbers inside of our account. So I'm going to go in here to custom. I'm going to go ahead and select the 1st of October, and then I'm going to go into here and we're going to make this October 31st for the complete month. And we're going to go ahead and hit apply. And then you can see there's the number $16,276.89. So I'm going to click on that just so you can see this is all the daily numbers, but I'm also going to compare it to the previous year. So as you can see, we're up 123% compared to the same period last year. Now, the other thing I always like to look at is conversion rate. So this is the conversion rate. So if I go in here, you can see our conversion rate has kind of decreased by 0.5%, which isn't really anything alarming. Although I do have a feeling, and I think there's a reason why that has dropped a little bit. And I'll get into that as far as like how we've been driving traffic, because whenever you're driving traffic, you are going to have different traffic sources, and that can decrease your conversion rate. All right. But still 2.7%, pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. We had 437 orders, which that's up 124% from last year. And then as far as visits go, we're also up 125% from last year. Okay. So these numbers are really, really strong. So let me just kind of go in here real quick. So this little dotted line here, this is all last year. All right. And then so you can see it's pretty much up throughout the entire year. Now this spike right here. All right. There's a couple of different spikes. There's that one and this one. That is from email. And I'm going to get into that here. We have sent emails to our email list. And well, it's helped us increase sales, which again, I'll get into that when we get into the traffic side of things. All right. But you can see we've had some days here, $890. This one here is $584, $714, $425. And then this one here, $1,049. And you can just see going through here, they're pretty good numbers, right? And then we had another spike right here, $1,113.76. And then this day actually was a little bit lower than last year, which is kind of funny. And then here it went up, right? And then here we had a nice little spike. All right. So everything here is looking great, right? So $16,276.89. That's what was generated. Now, let's look at this. I think this is the most interesting part, is because we have the full breakdown, and you have the same thing in your Etsy dashboard, is where you can look at how shoppers found you. And I think this is really important because it goes to show you that yes, SEO and search, as far as search traffic goes, it's really important. And there's different types. Did we do anything different with SEO? No, we really haven't. I've talked about this on the channel here as far as like SEO, and I'll link things up in the description that I think will be helpful to you on these certain areas, but nothing really groundbreaking, right? No hacks or any trickery. It's basically creating products that are in demand and then titling them accordingly, having good images, and making sure that our description is well optimized and making sure that we're using the proper tags. So that's the basic SEO framework that we follow. All right. But right here, this is what I want to point out. Direct and other traffic. Now we've brought 35% of the visits. All right. That's what it's saying. 35% of the visits we have brought. Now, not all of that 35%, because this here, the Etsy ads, okay, that there, yes, we brought that because we paid for it, but technically Etsy gave us that traffic, but we had to pay for it. And I'll show you how much we spent and all of that stuff here in a second. But this here, I really want to highlight, because this here is direct. And what direct means is we are sending people there either from a website or from an email list or our audience. If we had Instagram or something like that, and we had a link in there that someone would click, that is how they got there. All right. Now here, social media, that would mean that they came from social media, but if they clicked on a link in social media, that doesn't necessarily mean that that would have been tracked. This here, you can see we're not doing much, okay, on social media. And the reason why is because I can't control social media for the most part. What I can control is this right here. And that's something we have been focusing on more this year than we were last year. All right. Now, Etsy ads, okay, 282% it is up. All right. Now, you probably want to know, how much did we spend to generate $16,276.89? Well, let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so here we are looking at the ads performance here. And last month, October 1st through October 31st, we generated $5,244.97. We spent $2,184.96. So you can see here, $67 one day, $63, $57. So you can see this is the daily spend. Typically, right? We had a day here that we spent $103. And I think at this time I had my budget set to $1,000 per day, by the way. And the reason why I did that is because I realized that I wasn't going to spend that. And my goal was to try to spend $100 per day. And I did it a couple of days. I have since adjusted the budget to $100 per day, and we are advertising 296 listings, which also I should tell you that we have over 800 listings that are active in our shop, but we're only advertising, I say only, it's quite a bit, 296 listings, but it is the holidays. So we have ramped that up a bit. All right. So we spent $2,184. If you looked at just this, you'd be like, well, that's not that great. You probably just broke even, or maybe you made a little bit of money. So what we look at is this, 148 orders. And why do we look at that? Because those are customers. Okay. And the way that we look at it and the way that we have it set up is anybody that comes through as a customer has the potential to be on our email list. And now that Everbee Email rolled out their email platform, where now we can follow up with a customer 4 different times to try to get them to either join our email list or to leave a review. So if you want more information on that, I've shot videos on that, but I'll go ahead and link that up in the description. If you want to try Everbee Email, you can just go to emailforshops.com and you can get a nice little discount there too. But anyway, that's why I'm okay with spending this. Yes, we brought in $5,000, and yes, we brought in 148 orders, but that to me has helped us get that organic traffic. And that's what a lot of people don't look at, is like, okay, we did spend this much money and we brought in this much and we got this many orders, but that also means that that's 148 orders that we wouldn't have had. Now, because we had those 148 orders, that helped us drive traffic to those different listings. And what does that do? Well, it spikes the algorithm. So last year we didn't spend as much, and we started to use this as a strategy now that we're able to collect those email addresses. What does that do for us? Well, I shared with you just a minute ago that, well, you get to drive them people back to your Etsy shop, and then it costs you nothing. And I'm going to show you how much we generated from email, by the way, here in a second. So this is the Etsy ads. So if you look at this as a total, that means that we generated about $11,000 organically, okay, without spending any money. One thing I want to show you though is when you're running Etsy ads, you also are running Etsy ads externally. Let me show you something. So here we're looking at off-site ads that Etsy exposes our products to. So you can see here, shoppers clicked on your offsite ads 1,736 times and placed 85 orders. That's incredible. All right. Now here it says you only pay when you make a sale. Now, a lot of people don't realize this. If you're running Etsy ads, you're also able to get that visibility externally when they're doing the promotion, and you're only going to pay if you make a sale. All right. So you can see here, it says free visibility and checkout options with offsite ads. You get the added benefit of having your items featured on additional product results across Google, such as the Google Shopping tab, Google Images, Google Search, where there's no fee unless you make a sale. This also includes partner checkout on Google. So all of these things we get. All right. Now here, this is something cool. You're getting a discounted fee for the lifetime of your shop since you made $10,000 or more in sales in the 12 months before 8/31/21. Most sellers will pay 15%. So yes, if you have not hit that $10,000 threshold in the 12-month period, you're going to pay 15%. We're getting a discounted fee because of that. Now, would this make it where I would say, well, I'm not going to do it then because I pay 15%? No, I would still do it. But here, check this out. We paid $421.57. Now, this is part of the Etsy ads fees that you just saw. All right. So $421.57 was advertised, okay, or was used for advertising, and it brought in $3,487.38 in sales. That's pretty good. That's really good. So do I want to stop this? Heck no, right? I want to continue this. So this is another thing that as you start building out your shop, you start getting momentum, everything starts to increase, at least it has for us. Now, next, let me show you what we brought in with email. And the cool thing is that now Etsy gives us our share and save reward link where now we can track it. So here we are with the same time period, okay, October 1st through the 31st. And here you can see traffic from your share and save links. We had 3,869 clicks, 52 orders, and $3,177 was earned. All right. And get this, we saved $127 in fees. So basically we made an extra $127 that we wouldn't have had, that we would have just paid Etsy. So we generated $16,276.89, right? Well, $3,100, actually $3,177 came directly from email. So we didn't pay for that. The only money that we paid was that $2,000 for the Etsy ads. All right, that's it. And yes, we paid our fees and things like that. So now the big question is, well, Scott, how much did you make after fees and all of the things that go into creating the products and shipping the products and all of that stuff? Well, we average between 35% and 50%, depending on the product. Our average is 40%. So I'm going to go ahead and use the 40%. So $16,276.89. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to use 40%. And we would be left with $6,510.75. So yes, having a $6,000 month, that's a pretty hefty month. That's a great month, right? But here's the thing that I always look at that really excites me. And that's this right here, 437 orders. All right. Now, some of these are going to be repeat customers, but let's just say that half of them aren't. That means that I have 200 new customers that are going to be able to see more of my stuff, whether that's, well, they favorited my shop, or maybe now they are on my email list and I'm going to be able to send them emails on a regular basis. So that's a really, really powerful number that a lot of people overlook. And that's why when we are paying to get in front of people using Etsy ads, there's a lot of upside there. And that's just one of them. Now, one of the biggest things that has allowed us to increase our sales is email marketing, like I just shared with you. And I know that most Etsy sellers, they're just not using it. Now, they're either not using it because they're not aware of it, or they feel it's too complicated and just don't want to learn it. Well, if you want to start using email to drive sales, I just shot a free training right here that you can watch right now, where I sent emails over a 30-day period to generate that $3,177. So if you want to add email marketing to your Etsy shop, watch this video next, and I'll see you there.